Namaste. Welcome to Androidiots podcast. I am Anupam Singh.
I am Tushar Gupta. We talk about what's new in Android, best practices, and how to be a better Android developer.
Today we have Himanshu. He's a Bitcoin billionaire and non-philanthropist. He works extensively on Android and he will shed some light about what are the changes in Android P. So Himanshu, over to you.
So basically, Android with every version is improving and trying to focus on security more and more. As you see, when Android started, nothing was secure. You could take any data without any permission and everything you could do. Where on the other hand, if you see in iOS, everything was secure from the start. But now Android is moving in this direction because privacy is a major concern. So in Android P, they have tried to again target those concerns and brought up some issues, some security issues as they did in Oreo. Moreover, they have tried to improve the battery performance. So there are some features related to optimizing the usage of battery, how battery is running how apps are running in your phone, in your background, and how they are consuming the battery. Then there are some pretty cool features and some features that are like there are some improvements in the job schedulers, then autofill API, and many more. So basically, the best thing about Android in this release was these privacy. So now it has, like, if you might be knowing about the Marshmallow, Android brought some permission groups. So if you see call log and write call log, they were all in the phone permission, but now they have separated them out. So you need to ask them separately. So the permissions are now even breaking down granularly. Then you can see if your app is running in foreground, you need to ask for a foreground permission. So that is a new permission that has been added in Android. So basically, privacy and battery usage both are important in this case. So your app cannot take data from the background without your permission, and moreover, it will optimize your battery because you know which app is running.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Tushar.
So, I heard there are some changes to job scheduler that it's more optimized. Can you shed some light on it?
Yeah, sure. So Android introduced job scheduler so that you can schedule jobs in the background, right? Basically, what you do previously was use an alarm manager or something like GCM network manager, but Android provides a job scheduler that is a kind of wrapper also that is using alarm manager in old devices, pre-19 devices. It will be using alarm manager. So last time you were able to do like when you want to run the job. Now you can also say how much data size your job will consume.
Oh, that's good.
So if you tell that your in what type of network you want to run, it will take that also, like in congested network or when the network is free. So prefetching, take an example of prefetching. See, if your job takes a large amount of data, right, you can do that you can do the prefetch, and you can set the network type when your network is clear, there is no congested network, so it will pull out at that time. And if your job is big and the network is congested, that it won't schedule that job so that your performance does not hamper. So these kinds of features. This also improves the battery because in battery analysis it will help.
Yes, that is true.
And what else we have in Android? Is it so? Is only security? There are no UI features or?
No, there is a UI feature. There are many UI features, but the more like there are some new views also. Instead, they have extended constraint layout and improved that and many more things. But the best feature which I liked is the changes that they have done in autofill API. Like most of the Android developer when they work,
we all face that.
yeah, so you face that issue, right? When you write something that gets saved, then if you're using a recycler view for an example, and in the recycler view you have a lot of fills like edit text and you fill something, then when a recycle view gets the view back, right, it has the same ID, logically ID is the same, so it might be binded to the same text.
Yes.
Right? But now you can give another ID, an autofill ID.
For that editing.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
So this solves this issue. Even I have faced this issue in our app. So autofill also framework has been improved little better. There are some sanitizer API. For example, I'll give you, most of our app has payment screen, right? Everybody has.
Yeah.
And whenever we in the payment screen, we provide that fascinating card enter either with spaces or with slash, something like that. Date with backslash or what, right? So they have provided sanitizer that will help you clean this data, remove the spaces, remove the backslash, and then get the clear data, and then you can send it to the API. So these are some sanitizer that they have added in the autofill framework.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
And what else? Like you were also mentioning there were some background limitations in
Yeah,
Android P.
so Android Oreo was also pretty much related to background, that app should not run in background when users are not able to see it. But now they have done, like, if your app is running in background, it cannot access camera, microphone.
Oh,
So you have to run your app in foreground, and for that you need a permission. So they have linked this thing. So background usage will drastically reduce. Moreover, there is a feature in which and they will improve your battery. So basically, there is a feature in which it will track which apps are you using and at which time are you using, and then it will bucket your apps on the basis of your usage.
Okay.
So through which it will try to improve the battery.
oh, can we change that bucket?
No.
No, we cannot specify
No,
that.
no, no.
Okay.
It's like it's an, I think, AI something they're
Okay,
running.
so
and
they're
they can-
identifying
yeah,
themselves. Okay,
Yeah.
So that's cool.
So that's AI in battery optimization.
So some of the features are very not related to Android P also. If your app is not targeting Android P and still running on Android P, then also they will be valid for you, like accessing microphone and everything. So you don't need to target P, but if your app is running on Android P, then your app will face the consequences.
So they have backported all these new features back till API some 16, 17.
No, it's not on the API system. I'm saying when you target the app, then you make the app according to it, right? But
Yeah.
I'm saying it will only be phased in the Android device that is running P. So it is a feature of operating system. So your
Oh.
app won't be able to access whatever API it is targeting.
Okay.
So what else we have?
So even for Wi-Fi, like Wi-Fi scans, when you serve, you will need permission for that. No.
Okay, earlier we can just
Yeah,
make an
so
object,
there will be
get an information, get latitude, longitude, everything,
Yeah, you
right?
will need permission for that. And they have pretty much launched some pretty cool features in the live ARC components also that you can explore.
Yeah,
like
language
what-
components
yeah.
is also there.
Yeah.
So in short, so it's more mainly focused about platform security and
Yeah.
platform health.
Yeah, I'll say that because it has also provided some client-side features like Android P enables encryption on the Android backups, right?
Okay.
So when you have an app, right? So it get encrypted with the pin of your phone or the fingerprints, and you can reinstall the data stored in the platform. And moreover, on signing side also they have improved the feature. So Android P adds supports for the APK signature scheme. Okay, so the scheme has the option to include a proof of rotation record in its signing block. Like earlier we have a same signing key, right? But now you can have some scheme for that, and similarly you can sign the APK.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they have some hardware security changes also that you can look at. But yeah,
But
pretty
that
much
doesn't concern normal Android
No,
developers.
no.
okay?
Notification also they have tried to give some support in the channels and
Channels,
change.
yeah.
You can block some channels. You can read if your channel is blocked and
Blocked or
take the
not.
action accordingly as a
Okay.
developer. So these are also some features that they have provided.
Okay. And what Apple is doing? Introducing some dark themes.
So because I think Apple has already done these things. Security, I think
Security
Apple is
they have covered.
Yeah, and
Like,
Android
there's
is
no doubt about that.
Af-
Like let's be objective.
after
and
Android 7, Oreo and this
P.
P, I think both have targeted security and they're trying to make it a black box, right?
Yeah.
Even if you see
But we are still struggling with fragmentation. Na? The problem fragmentation will still be there until unless OEMs have a contract with Google and they have a centralized system to shape.
But even now, with OEMs, Android is trying to take over, right? Like even with the third-party apps, like if you are using MoEngage, you are taking IMEI number, it's allowing, your device is allowing. There is no security over that, but still, your app will be removed from the Play Store, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
So it's taking security pretty seriously.
Pretty seriously.
I think that's the effect of Zuckerberg.
the question is, should they have done this in the first place or not?
No.
Would that have limited them to scale so fast, so rapidly
I think
over the world?
I think the way Android came into the market gave them a boom to build. Like people were building
People were
anything,
excited.
fancy things.
Fancy
People
things.
are
But that was
inspired
the
by
question.
fancy.
Yeah.
You see Truecaller. I think if Android would have done this in the first place, Truecaller might never would have existed.
Yes, that is true.
Right?
Even today on iOS, Truecaller does nothing.
There's nothing. For Android, they have extensive
It's a default
feature.
app now. For
Yeah,
Android
de
users.
facto app.
De
also.
facto for Android.
Yeah, that's cool. So from experiment to a black box, that's the theme, I guess.
Yeah.
Android is moving forward.
Yes.
But iOS also had a lead-bound lead of 20 years. They already had an OS, then they put it to iOS. Yeah. So Android was a raw OS, and so you cannot compare both
Yeah.
in that sense.
They both had different priorities, and but they're both kind of aligning to similar along similar
Now
lines.
they're more or less same.
They both are
more or less
aligned into
same.
people's interest, and people's
Yeah.
interest is same.
Yes,
Ah.
that's true.
And from this year's IO and WWDC, they are saying use your phone less now. They're talking to use your phone less, do have a life, go somewhere else. What they actually mean by that, that's a question for some another day.
Some other day.
Some other day. So okay, Himanshu, that was a nice talk. Thanks for shedding light on our Android P. We'll keep that in mind in our future developments.
sure.
And thanks to you. Cheers.